Dr. Phyllis Collins of DietHobby.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a cheeseburger pie. First thing that you do is start your oven at 350 degrees. Get your spray coating, non-stick coating, and spray your pan. Okay? You're going to use a skillet, and you're also going to use a rectangular baking sheet. So I'm going to spray that pan also at the same time. Alright? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 pound of ground beef, lean ground beef, and I'm going to crumble it up into this pan to fry it up. Now this is the base of a great many recipes. So, you need to know how to fry up ground beef. If you don't know that, this is the time to learn. Okay? I'll have to turn my back to you a lot because I have to wash my hands when I touch meat. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to fry this meat up. We're going to brown it on a high heat. And what I use is I use 7% fresh ground beef ordinarily. I just kind of buy this at Food Mart, and that's what I use. But you can use whatever you want. I just happen to, that's the kind of ground beef that I ordinarily use, and that's what I base my calorie count on, is 7% ground beef. Okay, now this is going to take a while to fry up. I'm just going to have the heat on. I'm going to fry it up. I'm going to stir it around. Okay, now it's been a couple of minutes that the meat has been browning. And it just, it looks, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it just looks like brown meat, sort of like a taco meat or anything like that. Okay, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to combine, this is 3 slices of bacon. It's about, crumbled up. I take bacon already I've cooked and I crumble it up and put it in there. Or sometimes I'll buy at Costco or someone else, I'll buy this crumbled bacon already because it lasts forever in the refrigerator. And then I'm just going to stir that together with the meat. Okay. The next step is I'm going to take an egg, and a whole egg, and I'm going to put it in my magic bullet, or you could whisk it up. This is just how I like to do it. Okay, I'm going to whisk it. I whisked it up. Now, the other thing that you do, and you can do this while you're cooking it, while you're frying it up, or you can do it later, is I'm going to put 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder in here, and also the recipe is on Diet Hobby on the website. And then I don't restrict salt because my husband and I have no medical reasons to do so, so I'm just going to salt and pepper this to taste. I know about how much salt and pepper I like. Okay, the next step is I have here 4 ounces of cheddar cheese. Now, a food scale is very, very important. Always weigh your cheese, and you should weigh everything when it calls for ounces. The other thing that's important, measuring cups. You have to have measuring cups for everything, and measuring spoons. That's important. Now, with the shredded cheese, you can do it the old-fashioned way, where you shred the cheese with a shredder, or you can, which I usually do, is you can buy your cheese, already shredded in your little packages. Now, they say 8 ounces. What you could do is just divide the package in half, but you still need to weigh it. I find they're usually a little short. The 8 ounces is not necessarily really 8 ounces, but that's just my own thing. So the next thing we do is we're going to take this 4 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese, and we're going to put it all right in with the bacon and the hamburger, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And we're just going to stir this around. Like you can see, you're just stirring it around. And then we're going to add this beaten egg, either with a magic bullet or whisked up, whatever you prefer. We're just going to dump that in there. Okay? So then what we do is we just stir this all up. Now I did not drain any grease off of the pan of my meat because I use very low fat, 7% fat meat, hamburger meat, ground meat. But if you were to use regular full fat meat, you would need to probably need to drain some of the grease off. Otherwise your calories are going to be a lot higher and it might be a little too greasy. Okay, so the next thing I did is I dumped this all in the pan together. And I'm going to make, this is my cheeseburger pie. It's going to be in this pan, and you can use a little spatula, but personally I kind of like to pat it down with my hand just because it does a better job and it's faster. Okay, then of course you have to wash my hand, which may not turn out that good on a video, but okay, the last step is I have 4 ounces of shredded mozzarella cheese, and I'm just going to put this all over the mozzarella, spread it all with the ends and the edges, and be sure that every part of this is covered with a little bit of the shredded cheese, and that's your topping. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it in an oven at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. Okay, and that is a cheeseburger pie. Now, of course, I have one already ready, and so you can see what it's going to look like. And this is how it looks. Okay, it's kind of like a pizza topping. You know, you're going to bake this 20 to 30 minutes, and you do it until the edges are brown and the cheese topping is melted and it's lightly browned as well. Now the calories here, there are 8 servings here. You're going to have a lot of calories if you eat this whole thing. You have to divide this in 8 servings. And how you do that is you cut it in the middle, cut it in the middle again, then divide that again. Okay, and I'll show you when. We'll get one of these out if we can and show you how a piece is going to look. This is 213 calories. It's less than 1 carb. It's 0.9 carbs, and it's 31 grams of protein. Now, if you are on a low carb diet, this is absolutely wonderful because you have high protein. Okay, it's high protein, and it's of course it's high fat, but it's high protein and it's low carb. This is the size of a piece you're supposed to eat. You're not, this is a serving size. This is called portion control. 213 calories, a portion control. Okay? I love this stuff. It's sort of like a pizza topping. A really thick, nice pizza topping. You can do variations with it. You can have different spices. While you're frying the meat, you can add in some veggies, maybe a teaspoon or tablespoon of tomato sauce. Not moist veggies and not a lot of tomato paste, because the liquid is going to mess it up and it's not going to come out all nice and pizza like this. It's like this dish is like a lot of the recipes that I have. Learning how to do it is more important than learning exactly what to do, because you can change this around by adding this and adding that. The point is, this is a 213 calorie main dish. You can have a salad with it, if you wanted. But this is the way a serving size is supposed to look. Okay. I'm Dr. Phyllis Collins at diethobby.com. The recipe is there. Come and see me.